In the vast, winding waterways of the Florida Everglades, a unique adventure awaited Tom Bennett, an enthusiastic kayaker with a passion for exploring the uncharted. The Everglades, known for their sprawling mangroves and diverse wildlife, were a kayaker's paradise. Having explored various water bodies across the United States, Tom was drawn to the Everglades for their serene beauty and the thrill of navigating through their complex network of channels. On a warm morning in July 2023, Tom set out with his kayak, equipped with essentials and his trusty waterproof camera. He planned to navigate through the less traveled paths of the mangroves, hoping to capture the raw beauty of this natural haven. The air was thick with chirping birds and rustling leaves, a symphony of life thriving in the wetlands. Tom's kayak glided smoothly over the calm, shallow waters, the green canopy of the mangroves casting dappled shadows on the surface. He was in awe of the peacefulness that enveloped him, a stark contrast to the hustle of city life he was used to. His camera clicked away, capturing herons in flight and the occasional alligator basking in the sun. As he ventured deeper into the mangroves, the channels became narrower, the canopy overhead more dense. The sunlight struggled to penetrate through the thick foliage, creating a play of light and shadow on the water. Tom was vigilant, aware that the shallow waters could hide unexpected dangers. Without warning, the water beside his kayak stirred. At first, Tom thought it was a fish or a small alligator, familiar sights in the Everglades. But then he saw a fin cutting through the water gracefully. A chill ran down his spine. It was a bull shark, notorious for its aggression and ability to thrive in salt and freshwater. Tom knew he had to remain calm. Bull sharks were known to be unpredictable, and he had limited options in the confined space of the narrow channel. He stopped paddling, hoping the shark would lose interest and move on. But the shark continued to circle his kayak, its dorsal fin slicing through the murky water. Tom's heart pounded as he slowly reached for his camera. If he was going to have a close encounter with one of nature's most formidable predators, he wanted to document it. He snapped a few photos, his hands trembling slightly. The shark seemed almost curious, its movements deliberate as it inspected the strange object in its territory. For several long minutes, Tom and the shark shared the channel. Tom remained still, avoiding sudden movements that might trigger an attack. He was acutely aware that the kayak offered little protection against the power of a bull shark. Just as suddenly as it had appeared, the shark lost interest and swam away, disappearing into the depths of the mangroves. Tom let out a breath he didn't realize he had been holding. He waited a few moments, ensuring the shark was gone, before he began to paddle again, his strokes cautious and measured. Tom's paddle cut through the water with newfound urgency. The encounter with the bull shark had left him rattled, but he was determined not to let fear overshadow his adventure. He navigated through the winding mangroves, the tranquility of the environment belying the adrenaline still coursing through his veins. As he moved into a broader channel, the sunlight broke through the canopy, casting a warm glow over the water. Tom's eyes scanned the surface, half expecting to see the shark's fin reappear. But all seemed calm, the only movement coming from pelicans diving for fish. Tom's mind replayed the earlier encounter. He knew bull sharks were one of the few shark species that could survive in fresh water, making the Everglades an ideal habitat for them. They were elusive, though, and sightings were rare. Tom felt awe and respect for the creature he had just encountered, a living embodiment of nature's adaptability and strength. Lost in his thoughts, Tom didn't notice the shadow that lurked beneath the water, following his kayak silently. It was the bull shark, its curiosity not yet satisfied. Without warning, the shark surged upwards, its powerful body slamming into the bottom of the kayak. Tom was thrown off balance, his paddle slipping from his hands and clattering against the kayak. Water splashed into the vessel as it rocked violently. The shark's dorsal fin emerged again, circling for another pass. Tom's heart raced. He knew he was in a precarious situation. A capsized kayak would leave him vulnerable in the shark's domain. He scrambled to stabilize the kayak, trying to retrieve his paddle. Encouraged by the commotion, the shark bumped the kayak again, this time with more force. Tom clung to the sides, his knuckles white. He realized he had to get out of the shark's territory. With a deep breath, Tom started to paddle with his hands, steering the kayak towards a nearby bank. The shark followed, its fin cutting through the water at alarming speed. Tom paddled harder, his arms burning with the effort. As he neared the bank, the shark made one final attempt, its jaws snapping close to the kayak's edge. Tom felt the vibration of its powerful bite, a reminder of how close he was to danger. With a few more desperate strokes, he reached the shallow waters near the bank, the bottom of the kayak scraping against the muddy floor. Tom didn't stop until he had dragged the kayak onto solid ground. He collapsed beside it, breathing heavily, his body trembling from the adrenaline and exertion. He was safe, but the reality of what had just happened was sinking in. He had survived a close encounter with one of nature's most efficient predators. As he sat there gathering his strength, Tom's eyes fell on his camera. The photos he had taken earlier would be a testament to his incredible experience. He felt a newfound respect for the natural world and its inhabitants, a reminder of the delicate balance between humans and wildlife. Tom eventually returned to civilization, his story becoming a topic of discussion among the local kayaking and conservation communities. He shared his experience not to incite fear, but to promote understanding and respect for the wildlife of the Everglades, especially its more formidable residents. The story of Tom's encounter in the Everglades spread, a tale of adventure, respect, and the unpredictability of nature. It served as a reminder to all who ventured into the wilderness to admire from a distance, to respect the habitat of these wild creatures, and always to be aware of the silent fins that may be lurking in the murky waters. Nestled along the breathtaking coastline of Baja California, Mexico, lay a place of natural beauty and wonder, where land and sea merge in a captivating dance. 14-year-old Sophia had always felt a deep connection to the ocean, and it was this connection that drew her to the trip of a lifetime, a journey into the heart of shark-infested waters. The opportunity had arisen through her school, an excursion organized by her enthusiastic geology teacher, Mr. Albert. He was a man whose passion for the natural world was infectious, and he had taken it upon himself to impart that passion to his students. As Sophia and her school friends gathered at the shore, excitement and anticipation rippled through the group. Their backpacks were filled with notebooks, cameras, and snorkeling gear, a testament to their mission, to witness one of the world's greatest predators up close, the mighty great white shark. As they boarded the boat, the sun hung low in the sky, its warm rays casting a golden hue upon the azure waters. Sophia couldn't help but feel a sense of awe as the vessel glided smoothly away from the safety of the shore. Mr. Albert, the ever-enthusiastic teacher, stood at the helm, a grin of pure excitement on his face. He began to regale the students with stories of great white sharks, sharing facts about their size, power, and the mysteries surrounding their behavior. The boat ventured further into the heart of the shark-infested waters, the rhythmic churning of the engine providing a soothing backdrop to Mr. Albert's narrative. The anticipation among the students grew palpable as they scanned the water, hoping for that elusive glimpse of a great white shark's dorsal fin. As the boat slowed to a stop, the crew began preparing the cage, a sturdy metal structure that would allow the students to observe the sharks up close yet remain safely separated from the predators. Sophia and her friends, clad in wetsuits and snorkeling gear, eagerly descended into the cage, their hearts racing excitedly. The water was surprisingly straightforward, and the visibility was excellent. They had a direct view of the underwater world, a realm of hidden wonders and lurking dangers. As they settled into the cage, Sophia's gaze was fixed on the world beyond the metal bars. It was a world teeming with life, schools of colorful fish creating a mesmerizing ballet of movement. But it was the great white shark they had come to see, and the tension in the cage was palpable as they waited in breathless anticipation. Time stretched, and Sophia's eyes never left the deep blue expanse before her. Then, without warning, the ocean seemed to come alive. A colossal shadow materialized from the depths, its form taking shape with every passing moment. It was the unmistakable silhouette of a great white shark, a behemoth of power and grace. Gasps of awe and excitement escaped the students as the massive predator glided effortlessly through the water. Sophia felt thrilled, a mixture of fear and wonder coursing through her veins. The shark's cold, unblinking eye locked onto her, and for a moment, time stood still. The great white shark veered towards the cage as if drawn by some inexplicable force. The students held their breath, their hearts pounding in their chests. The predator's immense body brushed against the metal bars, its massive jaws mere inches from Sophia's face. In that heart-stopping instant, Sophia felt an indescribable connection with the creature. The shark's eye held a depth of wisdom that transcended the ages, a knowledge born of millennia of survival in the unforgiving depths of the ocean. It was as though, for that fleeting moment, they shared a profound understanding. Then, as suddenly as it had appeared, the great white shark glided away, disappearing into the watery abyss. The students erupted into excited chatter, their voices filled with wonder and awe. They had witnessed the ocean's apex predator in all its majesty, an experience that would forever shape their understanding of the natural world. But the awe-inspiring encounter was not without its dangers. The calm waters suddenly turned turbulent as the students marveled at the shark's departure. The boat lurched violently as a massive force struck it from below. Chaos erupted on deck as the vessel rocked perilously. Shouts of alarm filled the air as the students and crew struggled to maintain their balance. Sophia's heart pounded with fear as she clung to the side of the cage, her eyes wide with disbelief. It was then that she realized the unthinkable had occurred. The great white shark had returned, and in its fury or confusion, it had rammed the boat with unmatched force. The impact had caused the vessel to capsize, sending everyone into the treacherous waters. Sophia was tangled in a web of fear and confusion in the chaos. The sea churned around her, its waves like giant hands seeking to claim her. She fought to stay afloat, the instinct for survival propelling her upwards. Sophia's eyes scanned the tumultuous waters as she surfaced, gasping for breath. Panic surged within her as she realized the direness of their situation. Her fellow students and Mr. Albert struggled in the water, their cries for help lost in the roar of the waves. Mr. Albert felt the severity of the situation. Through the crashing waves, Sophia spotted her teacher struggling to stay afloat. Determination overcame fear as she swam toward him, her strong strokes cutting through the water. Mr. Albert, his face a mask of exhaustion and fear, locked eyes with his little student as she reached him. At that moment, words were unnecessary. Their connection was forged in the fierce embrace of the ocean, a bond between a true teacher and student that transcended words. Together they fought against the relentless waves, their bodies battered by the force of the sea. Sophia's determination and Mr. Albert's unwavering strength became their lifelines, their sole focus to survive and be reunited with their family and friends. Minutes passed each moment, a grueling battle against fatigue and despair. The rescue team, alerted by the distress signal, arrived on the scene, their searchlights cutting through the darkness. They pulled the survivors from the unforgiving sea, their faces drawn and their bodies trembling from the ordeal. As they sailed back to the safety of the shore, the events of that fateful day hung heavy in the air, a reminder of nature's raw power and unpredictability. The great white shark, the enigmatic creature that had drawn Sophia to the ocean's depths, symbolized both awe and respect. It had tested their limits, challenged their understanding, and ultimately left them with a profound appreciation for the fragile balance of life and nature.
The small coastal town of Seabreeze was a picturesque haven nestled along the rugged coastline. With its charming cottages, colorful fishing boats, and the salty scent of the sea wafting through the air, it was the epitome of seaside tranquility. The town's inhabitants lived harmoniously with nature, embracing the ebb and flow of the ocean that hugged their shores. Among the residents of Seabreeze was a 16-year-old girl named Lily. She was an adventurous and free-spirited soul, her heart forever entwined with the mysteries of the deep. Ever since she was a child, Lily had developed a bond with the majestic creatures of the ocean, and her most cherished companion was a great white shark named Luna. Lily's connection with Luna was unlike anything anyone had ever witnessed before. They had crossed paths one summer day when Lily was snorkeling near the reef, and a curious Luna had approached her with gentle curiosity. From that moment on, a profound understanding seemed to form between them, transcending the boundaries of species. Lily spent countless hours swimming alongside Luna, their friendship forged through trust, respect, and a shared love for the vast blue expanse surrounding them. It was a sunny afternoon when Lily and her family set out on their boat, preparing to embark on their usual routine of feeding Luna. Over the years, Lily had become a skilled diver and had honed her abilities to communicate with Luna underwater. As the boat glided across the glistening waves, Lily's excitement grew. She prepared the bucket filled with fish, her heart pounding with anticipation. Once they reached their usual spot, Lily plunged into the water, her body slicing through the cool, salty embrace of the ocean. Luna emerged from the depths, her powerful form gracefully circling Lily, awaiting her offerings. Luna's eyes sparkled with excitement as she playfully circled the boat, her sleek body gliding gracefully through the water. With a burst of energy, she shot out of the water, her mouth wide open, and playfully grabbed Lily's arm with her snout. The unexpected touch startled Lily, causing her to gasp in surprise, but her laughter quickly followed, filling the air with joyous echoes. However, as Lily's laughter subsided, she felt a sudden shift in Luna's playful demeanor. The shark's grip on her arm tightened, and a strange sense of urgency flickered in her eyes. Lily's heart skipped a beat as she realized something was terribly wrong. Luna wasn't playing anymore. She was trying to pull her into the water. Panic surged through Lily's veins, but she fought to stay calm. With lightning-fast reflexes, she released the fish she held and reached for the nearest object that could help her fend off imminent danger. Her trembling hands closed around a sturdy stick lying on the deck, and without hesitation, she swung it forcefully toward the water, creating a splash to startle Luna. As the stick made contact with the water, it created a loud smack, sending droplets flying in every direction. Luna, momentarily startled by the noise, released her grip on Lily's arm and retreated a few feet, her head held low in what appeared to be confusion. The bite inflicted upon her hand by the ferocious creature had left her in a state of shock. As the initial shock began to wane, the excruciating pain seared through her nerves, causing her to cry in agony. The severity of the bite was immediately apparent. Lily's hand was a mangled mess, torn flesh revealing glimpses of the raw crimson depths beneath. The beast's sharp teeth had sunk deep into her flesh, leaving behind a vicious wound that oozes blood with every beat of her trembling heart. The urgency of seeking immediate medical attention was impressed upon Lily, her hand trembling and throbbing in her lap. The risk of infection and further damage had escalated with every passing second. She knew she couldn't afford to delay seeking treatment any longer. With determination etched upon her face, Lily found herself at the doors of the emergency room. Nurses and doctors hurriedly rushed to her aid, recognizing the severity of her injuries. She was whisked away into the operating room's sterile, brightly lit confines, her pulse racing in sync with the pulsating lights above. Under the skillful hands of the medical team, Lily's treatment began. First, her wound was meticulously cleaned, removing any debris or bacteria that had made their way into the deep recesses of her damaged hand. Antibiotics were administered to stave off the looming threat of infection, a crucial step in her healing process. Lily understood that wild animals needed their space, habitats, and the freedom to live without interference. Respecting their boundaries and maintaining a safe distance was paramount to their well-being, as well as our own.
In the small coastal town of Lefties, West Australia, known for its rugged coastline and thrilling surf spots, a legend had long been whispered among the surfing community. It was about a colossal and untamed wave that appeared only under specific conditions. This wave, known as the Titan, had a fearsome reputation for being infested with sharks, a detail that only added to its mystique. Among the surfers who frequented Lefties, one stood out for his skill and fearlessness: Jack Morrison. A seasoned surfer with sun-bleached hair and a collection of surfing trophies, Jack had conquered waves around the world. But the Titan remained his unfulfilled challenge, a personal Everest he was determined to conquer. The locals, well-versed in the tales of the Titan, often warned Jack of its dangers. They spoke of experienced surfers who had dared to ride the wave, but encountered the sharks that lurked beneath, never to be seen again. Jack, however, was undeterred. To him, the Titan was the ultimate test, a chance to prove his mastery over the sea. As spring rolled into summer, the conditions for the Titan began to materialize. The air buzzed with anticipation. Surfers and locals alike knew that the Titan was about to awaken. Jack prepared meticulously, checking his equipment and discussing strategies with his longtime friend and fellow surfer, Lucas. On the day the Titan was expected to appear, the beach was crowded with onlookers, their eyes fixed on the horizon. The sea was unusually calm, but there was a palpable tension in the air. Jack surveyed the ocean, dressed in his wetsuit, waiting for the right moment. As if on cue, the water began to swell, and a massive wave started to form in the distance. The crowd gasped as the Titan emerged, its mighty crest a spectacle of nature's raw power. Jack paddled out, his heart pounding with excitement and a hint of fear. As he approached the towering wave, he could feel the force of the water beneath him. He paddled harder, positioning himself. With a deep breath, he stood up on his board, riding along the crest of the Titan. The thrill was indescribable. He was a speck on a mountain of water, conquering the legendary wave. But as he maneuvered down the wave's face, Jack noticed dark shapes in the water below. Sharks, attracted by the movement and the gathering of fish disturbed by the wave, were swimming just beneath the surface. Jack's mind raced. He needed to stay on the wave and away from the sharks. As he neared the end of the wave, one of the sharks, a massive great white, leaped out of the water, its jaws wide open. Jack narrowly avoided it, feeling the whoosh of air as the shark snapped its jaws shut just inches from him. Jack's heart hammered in his chest as the great white shark plunged back into the ocean, its powerful tail sending a water spray. The crowd on the beach, witnessing this terrifying spectacle, stood frozen in shock. Jack knew he had to act fast. The waters around him were now a hunting ground. He kept his balance, riding the wave with a newfound urgency. His mind, trained from years of surfing, was acutely aware of every movement in the water. Once thrilling, the wave became his escape route from the looming danger below. As Jack neared the shallower waters, another shark, encouraged by the presence of the great white, darted toward him. Its dark silhouette moved swiftly, cutting through the water. Jack, seeing the imminent threat, made a split-second decision. He jumped off his board, aiming for a wave to push him towards the shore. Confused by the sudden movement, the shark missed Jack and collided with his board, sending it flying into the air. Jack, submerged, kicked hard, propelling himself towards the beach. His lungs screamed for air, but he knew he couldn't surface yet. The sharks were still too close. Underwater, Jack's world was a blur of bubbles and shadows. He swam with all his might, driven by instinct and the will to survive. Finally, he broke the surface, gasping for air, and continued to swim towards the safety of the shore. The crowd, now in a state of panic, rushed to help. Lucas and other surfers dove into the water, forming a human chain to reach Jack. They grabbed him as another shark approached, its fins slicing through the water ominously close. Together, they pulled Jack to the beach, where he collapsed, exhausted and shaken but alive. The beach erupted in a mix of cheers and cries of relief. The Coast Guard, alerted by the commotion, arrived swiftly, their boat cutting through the waves to ward off the sharks still circling nearby. Jack lay on the sand, his breathing heavy and eyes staring at the sky. He had ridden the Titan at a cost he hadn't anticipated. The reality of what could have been a fatal encounter settled in. Around him, friends and strangers alike offered comfort and praise for his bravery, but Jack's thoughts were elsewhere. In the days that followed, Jack's encounter with the sharks became the talk of the town. News crews and journalists descended on lefties, eager to capture the story of the surfer who had faced the Titan and survived a shark attack. Jack, however, was introspective, his brush with death having given him a new perspective on life and the ocean. He spoke to the media not about his triumph over the wave, but about respect for nature and the need for caution in the water. His story highlighted shark conservation efforts and the importance of understanding these misunderstood creatures. Jack continued to surf, but he was more cautious, more respectful of the ocean's power. He shared his experience with young surfers, teaching them the thrill of riding waves and the dangers that lurk beneath. The legend of the Titan and Jack's encounter with the sharks became a cautionary tale, a reminder to all who ventured into the waters of lefties. It was a story of adventure, survival, and respect for the natural world, echoing through the surfing community for years. In the ominous waters of Australia's Poutine Islands, shrouded by a perpetual cloak of mist and known as a sanctuary for great white sharks. 2011 marked a fateful turning point for the Johnson family. A vacation meant to be thrilling had transported them to the very heart of nature's most formidable predator. The Johnsons, a family of 4, embarked on this adventure with trepidation and excitement. 10-year-old Emily, with her wide eyes brimming with wonder, was the youngest among them. Mark was his 15-year-old brother. Her parents, Richard and Elizabeth, had promised their children an unforgettable experience, a promise they would soon come to regret. Their vessel was a rugged boat designed for cage diving expeditions. It was meant to bring them face to face with the awe-inspiring great white sharks that prowled these waters. As the Johnsons huddled in the boat's cabin, anticipation and nervous energy coursed through their veins. The morning sun struggled to pierce the thick fog that enveloped the Poutine Islands, casting an eerie pallor over the scene. Like a restless beast, the sea roared and churned, an uncaring testament to the raw power of nature. The waters were alive with the presence of these apex predators, their ominous silhouettes lurking beneath the surface. The cage diving experience commenced, and the Johnsons donned their wetsuits and helmets. Emily clung to her father's hand, her eyes fixed on the monstrous shadows circling the cage as it descended into the depths. Their adrenaline surged as they watched the mighty and majestic colossal white sharks in their element. But the balance between exhilaration and danger was a delicate one. Without warning, a powerful underwater current suddenly rocked the boat. Panic spread like wildfire as the Poutine explorer capsized, sending the Johnsons into the churning abyss. In the chaotic moments that followed, instinct overrode fear, and Richard Johnson rose as their unwavering protector. Gasping for air and struggling against the relentless waves, he surfaced, desperately scanning the tumultuous waters for any sign of his family. Elizabeth, their faces etched with terror, and their younger son Mark appeared nearby. Emily, however, was nowhere to be seen. The merciless sea had swallowed the little girl, and a sense of helplessness gripped her father's heart like a vice. Richard's survival instincts took over, with the waves threatening to engulf them at any moment. He knew that saving Emily was paramount, his sole focus amidst the chaos of the open water. In a heart-pounding race against time, Richard turned his attention to finding his daughter. The roiling sea, now his adversary, refused to yield its precious cargo. The minutes stretched as he swam deeper, scanning the murky depths with frantic determination. Then, just as despair seemed poised to claim him, a glimmer of hope emerged. A flash of Emily's bright orange wetsuit caught his eye, and he lunged forward, his powerful strokes propelling him towards her. She was struggling, gasping for air, but her father's strong arms enveloped her, and he pulled her to the surface. Back on the surface, the turbulent waters showed no mercy. Their strength and unpredictability tested Richard's mettle as he fought to keep his family afloat. The waves, like malevolent giants, relentlessly pounded them. Richard made an emergency call to the rescue team from his radio transmitter. Time seemed to blur as they clung to each other, the relentless sea indifferent to their plight. Richard's eyes never wavered from the horizon, searching for any sign of rescue. As minutes turned into hours, fatigue threatened to pull them under. Their salvation came in the form of a distant speck on the horizon. A rescue vessel, dispatched in response to the Richards from the ill-fated Poutine explorer, had spotted them. With a surge of hope, Richard signaled frantically, their chance of survival growing with each passing second. The rescue team, skilled and determined, approached with practiced precision. They pulled the battered Johnson family from the water, their faces pale and their bodies trembling from the ordeal. Emily clung to her father, her eyes haunted by the memory of the abyss. The Poutine Islands, as if sensing that its quarry had slipped through its grasp, receded into the mist. The great white sharks continued their timeless dance in the depths, indifferent to the human drama that had unfolded above. Back on the rescue vessel, wrapped in warm blankets and surrounded by compassionate strangers, the Johnsons clung to each other. The relentless ocean had tested their limits, and they had emerged more robust in the crucible of survival. The Johnson family's vacation had been unforgettable, but different from what they had envisioned. It was a harrowing brush with the untamed forces of nature, a stark reminder of the thin thread that separates life from the abyss.
In the deep expanse of the ocean, where mysteries and danger intertwine. A team of dedicated marine researchers embarked on a thrilling expedition. Their mission was to delve into the enigmatic secrets that envelop the awe-inspiring great white sharks, unraveling their mysteries one by one. These magnificent creatures had long captured the imagination of scientists and the general public, and this research project aimed to shed light on their behavior, migration patterns, and the ecological role they played in the marine ecosystem. Among the eager teenagers drawn to this once-in-a-lifetime chance was 16-year-old Emma. With her fiery red hair, sparkling green eyes, and an insatiable thirst for adventure, Emma possessed an unyielding fascination with the ocean and its captivating inhabitants. Growing up in a coastal town, she spent countless hours exploring the sandy shores, often dreaming of the mysteries that lay hidden beneath the turquoise waves. Emma had immersed herself in the study of marine biology, voraciously devouring books and documentaries that chronicled majestic marine life. Her room was adorned with posters of vibrant coral reefs and magnificent sea creatures, a testament to her unwavering passion. Emma's heart danced with the excitement when the opportunity arose to participate in the research project on great white sharks. Driven by an insatiable curiosity and a yearning for a deeper understanding of the ocean's wonders, Emma applied for a spot on the boat excursion. A hush fell over the crowd as the boat glided farther from the shore. All eyes were drawn to the knowledgeable guide at the front, who wore a weathered smile that spoke of countless encounters with the wonders of the deep. With a steady voice, he began to recount tales of the legendary inhabitants of these waters, capturing the attention of his captivated audience. Among the stories, one creature held a special place of fascination: the great white shark. Its presence alone could stir both awe and fear in the hearts of those who sought to witness its majestic power. The guide described its sleek and formidable silhouette, its rows of razor-sharp teeth, and the chilling grace with which it glided through the water. Just as the guide reached the climax of his narrative, a collective gasp escaped the lips of the spectators. A magnificent creature emerged from the depths in a breathtaking display of raw power. A great white shark, larger than any they had ever imagined. Its colossal body soared gracefully into the air, water droplets shimmering like diamonds in the sunlight before cascading back into the sea. In an instant, the beast lunged toward Emma with lightning speed. Its razor-sharp teeth sank into her leg, clamping down with bone-crushing force. Agonizing pain shot through her body, as if every nerve was set ablaze. The world around her blurred into a frenzy of thrashing water and desperate cries for help. Emma's vision wavered, and she fought against the suffocating grip of terror. Each second felt like an eternity as she grappled with the realization that her life teetered on the edge. Blood tainted the crystal-clear waters, merging with the sea's vast expanse, a chilling reminder of her mortality. Meanwhile, a hushed panic spread among the beachgoers as they witnessed the unfolding horror. The lifeguards sprang into action, their muscles fueled by adrenaline and their minds honed by countless hours of training. Time was a relentless enemy, urging them to act swiftly. A specialized ocean rescue team assembled, their determination etched upon their faces. Armed with their expertise and a sense of duty, they plunged into the turbulent waters, determined to save Emma from the jaws of death. Their coordinated efforts sliced through the chaos as they cautiously approached the monstrous predator. Armed with harpoons and nets, they sought to distract the shark, diverting its attention from its prey. Their hearts pounded in their chest, matching the rhythm of the crashing waves. With unflinching resolve, the team executed their plan flawlessly, creating a diversion that momentarily released the shark's grip on Emma's leg. Seizing the opportunity, they swiftly moved in, their hands working in perfect synchronization. With each passing moment, they inched closer to freeing Emma from the merciless predator. Without hesitation, the emergency team maneuvered Emma onto a stretcher, their movements synchronized in a race against time. The sound of sirens pierced the air as the ambulance's door swung open, revealing a chaotic flurry of activity within. They carefully loaded Emma inside, securing her with utmost care. With lights flashing and sirens wailing, the ambulance tore through the streets, maneuvering through the urban jungle with purpose. Every jolt and swerve of the vehicle echoed the gravity of the situation. Inside, the paramedics monitored Emma's vital signs, administering life-saving measures as they raced against time. Upon arriving at the hospital, Emma was whisked away into the bustling emergency room. A team of doctors, nurses, specialists quickly surrounded her, their white coats a stark contrast to the sea of activity around them. They worked with meticulous precision, their focus unyielding. Gently removing Emma's soaked clothing, the medical team revealed the extent of her injuries. Deep lacerations marred her flesh, bearing witness to the powerful jaws that had seized her. The doctors conducted a thorough examination, their gloved hands exploring each wound with utmost care. Dr. Lawson, a seasoned surgeon with a kind face, carefully considered his options. After much deliberation with his medical team, he knew what must be done. Reluctantly, he made the difficult decision to amputate Emma's foot, a drastic measure to prevent the infection from spreading further. Emma's foot was carefully removed under the sterile glow of the operating room lights, and the affected tissues were excised to halt the infection's progress. The surgery was a success, yet Emma awoke to a bittersweet reality. Emma reclaimed her freedom and independence with her gradual progress and adjustment to her prosthetic foot. She walked with a renewed purpose, leaving behind a trail of inspiration for others to follow. Her story became a beacon of hope for those who faced their battles, reminding them that the human spirit was unbreakable and capable of conquering the greatest challenges.
In the bustling marine research community of Long Island, New York, Dr. Ava Simmons, a dedicated marine biologist, embarked on a groundbreaking research project. Her focus was on the behavioral patterns of sharks in the North Atlantic, a study that aimed to demystify these often misunderstood creatures. Ava, known for her fearless approach and innovative methods, believed that close observation in their natural habitat was key to unlocking new insights. In early June 2001, Ava set off to a remote island off the coast of Long Island, a place known for its rich marine life and notably, its diverse shark population. She planned to spend a week on the island, conducting underwater observations using state-of-the-art technology, including drones and underwater cameras. Ava's base camp was a small, weather-beaten cabin on the island's edge, surrounded by the vast expanse of the ocean. She had all the essentials for her stay: research equipment, provisions, and a small boat for her daily excursions. Her only companion was her loyal assistant, Mark, a young marine science graduate eager to learn from one of the best in the field. Ava and Mark ventured into the ocean daily, tracking and observing the sharks from a safe distance. Ava's method was to blend into the environment as much as possible, using a specialized diving suit that mimicked the texture and color of the seabed. Her approach worked. They gathered valuable data, observing the sharks' natural behaviors without disturbing them. However, on the fourth day, something extraordinary happened. While Ava was submerged, a curious great white shark, larger than any she had seen before, approached her. Its size was imposing, yet its movements were graceful, almost gentle. Ava's heart raced. She was both exhilarated and terrified. She knew she had to remain calm. Sudden movements could provoke the shark. The shark circled Ava, its dark eyes seeming to study her. Ava stayed as still as possible, her training telling her that the shark was more curious than aggressive. Watching from the boat, Mark was ready to intervene, but Ava signaled him to stay back. This was a rare opportunity to observe up close. The shark and Ava shared the water for several long minutes, a silent dance of predator and observer. Then, as suddenly as it had appeared, the shark swam away, disappearing into the deep blue. Ava emerged from the water, her heart still pounding, her mind racing with what she had just experienced. Back at the cabin, Ava documented the encounter in her research log that evening. This was more than just a close call. It was a moment of connection, a glimpse into the intelligence and complexity of these magnificent creatures. The following days brought more observations, but none as intense as her encounter with the great white. Ava's respect for these animals deepened, and she felt a renewed sense of purpose in her research. Her findings would contribute to the scientific understanding of sharks and the conservation efforts to protect them. Ava and Mark packed their equipment as the week ended, ready to return to the mainland. Ava looked at the ocean one last time, knowing that this trip had forever changed her perspective. The journey back to Long Island was quiet, with Ava lost in thought, replaying the encounter with the great white shark repeatedly in her mind. It was a moment that blurred the lines between observer and participant, a reminder of how little we truly understand about these creatures of the deep. Ava's findings at the Marine Research Facility stirred excitement among her peers. Her close encounter in particular sparked a flurry of discussions. The footage she captured was unlike anything they had seen before, providing unprecedented insights into shark behavior. But for Ava, the experience had left her with more questions than answers. Driven by her newfound curiosity, Ava dedicated the following months to analyzing the data. She worked tirelessly, piecing together the great white's behavior puzzle. Her research began to suggest something revolutionary, that these sharks might possess a level of curiosity and intelligence that had previously been underestimated. The academic world buzzed with the implications of Ava's research. Invitations to speak at conferences and contribute to prestigious journals poured in. Ava, however, remained focused on her work, knowing that this was just the beginning of a longer journey of discovery. Ava prepared for a return trip to the island as the months turned into a year. This time, her mission was to establish a more permanent research station, allowing for continuous observation and study of the sharks in that region. Now a more experienced researcher under Ava's mentorship, Mark joined her again. The new research station, a blend of technology and sustainability, was a testament to Ava's vision. Equipped with advanced tracking systems, underwater drones, and a dedicated team of researchers, it was a hub of shark research unlike anything that had existed before. Ava's work began to shift the public perception of sharks. She advocated for their conservation through her publications and talks, dispelling the myths and fears that had long surrounded these animals. She emphasized the importance of sharks in the marine ecosystem and the urgent need to protect them. 2 years after her initial encounter, Ava found herself again in the waters off the island, observing a group of great whites. Among them, she recognized the distinctive markings of the shark that had approached her that fateful day. It was a surreal moment, a silent acknowledgement between researcher and subject. Ava's research continued, contributing significantly to the field of marine biology. Her experience with the great white became a cornerstone of her career, a story she often shared to inspire others. It was a tale of respect, discovery, and the endless mysteries of the ocean. Years later, Ava retired, leaving behind a legacy of groundbreaking research and a new generation of marine biologists who continued her work. The research station on the island remained a beacon of learning and conservation in the vast, unexplored waters of the world. As Ava looked back on her career, she realized that her greatest discovery wasn't in the data or the accolades, but in her profound connection with the ocean and its inhabitants. It was a reminder that in the depths of the sea, there are wonders beyond our imagination, waiting to be uncovered. Nestled in the pristine waters off the coast of New Zealand, the idyllic setting of turquoise seas and rugged cliffs served as the backdrop for a sailing trip that would forever be etched in the memories of a group of teenagers. They had gathered to celebrate the 16th birthday of their fearless friend Alex, a young soul with a spirit unyielding to fear. Alex, with a perpetual twinkle of adventure in their eyes, had convinced their friends that this was the perfect way to mark the occasion. Their sailboat, the Mariner's Dream, stood ready for the voyage, its white sails billowing in anticipation. The group consisted of 5 close-knit friends. There was Julie, the creative soul with an uncanny ability to find beauty in every moment. Chris, the science enthusiast who always brought a sense of curiosity to their adventures. Maya, the avid sailor who shared Alex's love for the open sea. And Jake, the quiet but dependable friend who could always be counted on in a crisis. As the Mariner's Dream ventured further out to sea, the exhilaration in the air was palpable. The sun-dappled waves seemed to beckon, promising a day of adventure and discovery. Alex stood at the helm, the wind tousling their hair as they navigated the vessel with a confidence that belied their age. They sailed to a secluded bay, a hidden gem known only to the most fearless sailors. The water in the bay was clear as crystal, and the group dropped anchor with a sense of triumph. The day promised to be perfect, a celebration of youth and the boundless possibilities of the ocean. Alex's birthday festivities began in earnest. The group shared stories, laughter, and a picnic on the sailboat's deck. Julie had brought a cake, and they sang a spirited rendition of Happy Birthday as Alex blew out the candles, their eyes filled with the joy of friendship. But as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting hues of orange and pink across the water, a sense of tranquility settled over the group. It was then, in the serene twilight of the bay, that the unexpected unfolded. A sudden, bone-chilling tremor rocked the mariner's dream, causing it to sway dangerously. Panic swept through the group as they clung to the deck, their eyes wide with fear. The sea, which had moments ago been their playground, now seemed an unforgiving force. And then, with a jolt that sent shockwaves through their very beings, it happened. The unmistakable, chilling sight of a great white shark, its massive form slicing through the water, was upon them. It was a creature of awe-inspiring power and majesty, its magnificent and terrifying presence. The shark's colossal jaws clamped onto the sailboat's hull, and the vessel shuddered under the force of the attack. Wood splintered, and water began pouring into the boat. Panic gripped the friends as the reality of their predicament sunk in. Amid the chaos, Alex's fearless demeanor remained unshaken. With quick thinking, they rallied their friends, instructing them to grab life vests and make their way to the tiny life raft secured on board. Fear and adrenaline coursed through their veins as they hurriedly gathered minimal supplies. A few bottles of water, a first aid kit, and a flare gun. The sailboat sank rapidly, its once sturdy frame now compromised by the shark's relentless assault. The group clambered onto the life raft, their hearts pounding with fear and hope. The open sea stretched beyond them, vast and unforgiving, as they drifted away from the sinking sailboat. As reality set in, terror gripped the friends. They huddled together in the cramped confines of the life raft, their eyes darting anxiously at the dark waters around them. The night was still save for the gentle lapping of the waves against the raft, and the moon cast an eerie glow upon the scene. Amid their fear, Alex emerged as the pillar of strength. They spoke with a calm authority, reminding their friends that panic would not serve them. Instead, they urged the group to ration their supplies, to stay vigilant, and to keep their hope alive. The hours stretched on, each one feeling like an eternity. The group knew their only hope lay in a rescue, but the open sea offered no guarantees. Fear gnawed at their resolve, threatening to overwhelm them. Yet Alex's determination remained unyielding. They spoke of survival stories they had heard, stories of resilience in the face of adversity. They encouraged their friends to share their dreams and aspirations, to keep their minds engaged and their spirits buoyed. Time seemed to blur as they clung to the life raft, their bond growing stronger with each passing moment. It was a test of their friendship, an examination of their will to survive. Through the darkest hours of the night, they clung to hope, their eyes scanning the horizon for the telltale lights of rescue. And then, as the first light of dawn painted the sky in shades of pink and gold, a sight that filled them with hope appeared on the horizon. A rescue vessel, alerted by the mariner's dream emergency signal, approached with determination and skill. As the vessel drew closer, the group's relief was palpable. Their ordeal was ending, and they had weathered the storm together. With practiced precision, the rescue team pulled them from the life raft, their faces etched with exhaustion and gratitude. On board the rescue vessel, the friends clung to each other, their spirits lifted by the knowledge that they were safe. They had faced the unimaginable, a great white shark's attack, and emerged on the other side, tested but unbroken. As they sailed back to the safety of the shore, the events of the past night hung heavy in the air, a reminder of the unpredictability of the sea and the strength of friendship. Alex, the fearless friend who had shown unwavering determination and leadership, looked out at the open ocean with a newfound respect.
It was a picturesque afternoon, the sun radiating warmth as it cascaded over the tranquil waters. A group of friends embarked on a boating trip, eager to bask in the serenity of the open sea. Laughter filled the air as they sailed away from the shore, their excitement palpable. The air was filled with the soft scent of salt water and the distant cries of seagulls. The boat glided effortlessly through the calm sea, its polished wooden deck inviting passengers to revel in the serenity of the moment. The gentle sway of the vessel lulled everyone into a state of pure relaxation, their worries and troubles melting away with each passing wave. The ocean was calm, its surface glistening under the golden rays of the afternoon sun. As the boat gently rocked on the waves, a sudden change in the atmosphere gripped the air. A hush fell over the group as a sense of unease washed over them. The water exhibited an eerie ripple, betraying an unnatural disturbance as if an unseen creature had emerged from the depths. Eyes wide with anticipation, they scanned the horizon, searching for the source of the disturbance. Then, as if emerging from the depths of a nightmare, it appeared. A majestic yet terrifying creature, the great white shark, with its sleek body and rows of razor-sharp teeth, glided effortlessly through the water, its cold black eyes fixated on its unsuspecting prey. Time seemed to slow as the reality of the situation sank in. Lost in the ocean's mesmerizing beauty, Mia was unaware of the imminent danger that lurked beneath her. The silence was shattered by a collective gasp as the great white shark lunged toward her with lightning speed. It was a moment frozen in time, a snapshot of raw terror etched into the minds of those who witnessed it. The shark's massive jaws closed around Mia's leg in a heart-stopping instant. Pain surged through her body as she let out a blood-curdling scream. The force of the attack sent her hurtling through the air, her body twisted and contorted in the predator's grasp. The ocean became a whirlwind of frothy white waves, stained crimson with Mia's blood. Chaos erupted on the boat as Mia's friends were thrust into a frenzy of panic and disbelief. Screams filled the air, blending with the crashing of waves against the vessel. Frantic hands desperately reached out towards Mia, as if hoping to pull her back from the clutches of the voracious shark. Fear and helplessness mingled together, their emotions overpowering reason. Time became a blur as Mia's friends fought against the powerful currents and the relentless grip of the ocean. Every second felt like an eternity as they battled against the elements, their hearts pounding in their chests. Their cries for help merged with the distant echoes of the shark's triumphant splashes as it dragged Mia further away, deeper into the dark abyss. Lost in the beauty of the underwater world, Mia failed to notice the figure emerging from the depths. Nearby, a marine biologist clad in a wetsuit quietly surfaced, his presence unknown to Mia. Unbeknownst to Mia, the marine biologist was an expert in shark behavior. Years of dedicated research had given him an uncanny understanding of these majestic predators. His keen eye allowed him to discern the subtlest signs of aggression and curiosity in their movements. The biologist had dedicated his life to studying sharks in hopes of fostering coexistence between humans and these creatures of the deep. A great white shark, attracted by the commotion, began to approach Mia with a mix of curiosity and predatory instinct. Observing the scene from a distance, the biologist immediately recognized the danger. With swift and calculated movements, the biologist intercepted the shark, positioning himself between the predator and Mia. He exuded a calm yet commanding presence, utilizing his knowledge of shark behavior to divert the creature's attention. Drawing on his expertise, he mimicked the movements of injured prey, enticing the shark to pursue him instead. Mia's heart raced as the shark lunged toward the biologist. Fear gripped her, but she trusted in the marine biologist's abilities. Meanwhile, the biologist skillfully evaded the shark's sharp teeth, maneuvering with grace and precision. Sensing an opportune moment, he swiftly pushed off from the ocean floor, propelling himself upwards towards the surface. In a dramatic display of agility, the marine biologist executed a series of flips and twists in midair. As he ascended, he created a mesmerizing spectacle, captivating the shark's attention. The majestic predator, momentarily forgetting about Mia, became enthralled by the biologist's acrobatics. It followed him, leaving Mia free to escape. Mia seized the opportunity to swim away with the biologist's assistance, her limbs thrashing through the water with renewed vigor. As she reached the surface, gasping for air, she looked back to see the shark momentarily confused by the marine biologist's display. It hesitated. Its predatory instincts were momentarily overridden by curiosity. The extent of Mia's injuries was truly harrowing. Deep gashes marred her body, etching a horrifying tableau of destruction. Tattered flesh and shredded sinew revealed the raw brutality of the attack. Mia's bones now protruded at twisted angles, cruelly bearing testament to the immense strength of the shark that had attacked her. The graphic nature of Mia's wounds was so harrowing that it sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest of souls. The gaping wound on her leg oozed crimson rivulets, staining the pristine sands as if the earth wept in sympathy. Jagged flesh hung loosely, exposing the gnarled interior. News of Mia's perilous situation had traveled fast, and these seasoned professionals were determined to lend their expertise to the desperate rescue effort. Their arrival infused the air with hope amidst the harrowing circumstances. They secured Mia in a sturdy rescue stretcher, ensuring her safety before embarking on the perilous journey back to shore. As Mia was whisked away to receive further medical attention, the Marine team stood shoulder to shoulder, a unified force of resilience and heroism. They had defied the odds, triumphing over the daunting challenges presented by the merciless sea. The encounter with the treacherous sea taught Mia invaluable lessons about the importance of marine safety. It served as a stark reminder of the unpredictable power of nature and the need for caution when venturing into the depths.
In the heart of the Indian Ocean, the island of Fuvahmulah in the Maldives beckoned with its crystal-clear waters and abundant marine life. It was a paradise for scuba divers, offering a window into an underwater world of vibrant coral reefs and exotic sea creatures. Among those drawn to this underwater haven was Clara Bennett, a young and enthusiastic scuba diver from Canada, eager to explore the depths of Fuvahmulah's renowned dive sites. Clara joined a diving tour led by experienced local guides who knew the waters like the back of their hands. The group consisted of divers of varying experiences, all united by a love for the ocean. For Clara, this trip was more than just a dive. It was a chance to escape the mundane and connect with nature in its most unadulterated form. As they set out on the boat that morning, the sun shone brightly, reflecting off the turquoise water. The air was filled with excitement and a hint of nervous anticipation. The dive site for the day was a famous spot known for its colorful coral gardens and the diverse sea life that inhabited them. Geared up and ready, Clara and the group descended into the water, a world of blue enveloping them. The sight that greeted them was breathtaking, a kaleidoscope of corals in every imaginable color, teeming with fish darting in and out. Clara felt a sense of awe and freedom as she floated weightlessly, taking in the beauty around her. As the group explored the reef, Clara became mesmerized by a school of vibrant parrotfish. Without realizing it, she drifted away from the group, her attention entirely captivated by the scene before her. When she looked up, the other divers were nowhere in sight. A surge of panic hit her. She was alone in the vast ocean. Clara tried to stay calm, reminding herself of the training she had received. She checked her air supply and buoyancy and ascended to a shallower depth to spot the group. But as she turned, she noticed a large, dark shape in the distance. Her heart skipped a beat as she recognized a shark's sleek, unmistakable form silently gliding through the deep water. The shark, a solitary predator, seemed aware of her presence. Clara knew she had to be cautious. Sudden movements could attract its attention. She slowly started to swim back towards where she had last seen her group, keeping an eye on the shark. The shark, however, seemed to be following her. It wasn't aggressive, but its silent stalking was unnerving. Clara's mind raced with thoughts of what to do. She remembered reading about the behavior of sharks and how they often acted out of curiosity rather than aggression. But the distance between her and the shark was closing. She could see its eyes, unblinking and focused. Every second felt like an eternity as Clara navigated through the water, her movements deliberate and controlled. Clara's heart pounded as the shark continued to close the distance between them. She could now see its sleek, powerful body in more detail. its skin a mosaic of scars and marks from its life in the deep. Clara's mind raced with thoughts of escape, but she knew panicking could only worsen things. Now, only a few meters away, the shark seemed to be studying her, its dark eyes giving nothing away. Clara tried to recall everything she had learned about shark behavior. She knew maintaining eye contact and a confident posture could sometimes deter a shark from attacking. But the theory was far different from the reality she was now facing. As the shark made a slow, deliberate circle around her, Clara stayed as still as possible, her eyes locked on the massive creature. She could feel her heart thumping against her ribcage, the sound of her breathing loud in her ears. The world around her seemed to fade away, leaving only her and the shark in this underwater dance. When Clara thought the shark might lose interest, it suddenly turned and swam directly towards her. Its mouth opened, revealing rows of sharp teeth. Clara's training kicked in. She pushed out with her fins and made herself as big as possible, trying to seem less like prey. The shark veered off at the last moment, its rough skin brushing against Clara's wetsuit. The contact sent a jolt of fear through her, but she held her ground. The shark circled back, each passing a test of Clara's resolve. In those tense moments, Clara felt a strange connection to the creature. It was a wild, powerful being, yet there was a sense of intelligence in its actions. She realized that the shark was not attacking but displaying a natural curiosity. Suddenly, the sound of bubbles caught Clara's attention. She glanced to her side and saw the flash of dive lights. Her group, led by the guides, came to her rescue. Relief washed over her as she saw the familiar figures approach. The shark, sensing the arrival of more divers, gave Clara one last look before gracefully descending into the depths, disappearing into the blue. Clara's legs felt weak with relief, and her group quickly surrounded her. The guides checked on her, ensuring she was unharmed. As they ascended to the surface, Clara was silent, processing the encounter she had just experienced. Back on the boat, the group was abuzz with excitement and relief. Clara shared her story, her voice steady but still tinged with disbelief. The guides praised her for handling the situation calmly, noting how rare it was to have such a close encounter with a shark. The rest of the trip was uneventful, but Clara couldn't shake the awe and respect she had gained for the shark. She had faced one of nature's most formidable predators and come away with a story she would never forget. Back home, Clara often recounted her encounter in the Maldives. The experience had changed her, giving her a deeper appreciation for the ocean and its inhabitants. She had come face to face with a creature many feared, and instead of terror, she found a profound respect for the balance of life in the ocean. The story of Clara's encounter became a reminder of the beauty and mystery of the underwater world, a tale of respect, courage, and the delicate coexistence of humans and nature in the vast blue wilderness. In the brisk autumn of 2001, off the coast of South Africa, the stage was set for an oceanic discovery that would etch itself into the annals of marine biology. A seasoned marine biologist, Dr. Emily Carter, stood at the helm of the research vessel Aqua Quest. It was equipped with the latest shark tracking and observation technology, purposefully cutting through the churning waters. Her team, a dedicated group of researchers, comprised experts in their respective fields. Among them was Dr. Carter's 10-year-old daughter, Lily, whose fascination with the ocean had been nurtured by her mother's lifelong passion. The expedition had unfolded seamlessly thus far. Their primary focus was on tracking a 16-foot great white shark they had named Apollo. Apollo was known for his sheer size and aggressive tendencies, leaving an indelible mark in the lore of shark research. The tension mounted as Apollo's movements were meticulously tracked. The massive predator had circled their vessel for hours, a potent mix of excitement and unease permeating the research team. Apollo's reputation as a formidable presence in these waters was well earned, and Dr. Carter was determined to unravel the reasons behind his behavior. Suddenly, Apollo's enormous form surged forward in an explosive burst of aggression. His jaws clamped onto the vessel's side with a force that sent shockwaves through everyone on board. Instruments and equipment crashed to the floor as the boat shuddered under the impact. Amid the chaos, Lily was hurled overboard, her tiny figure vanishing into the dark depths. Dr. Carter's heart seemed to freeze as she watched her daughter being swallowed by the abyss, carried away by the relentless current. Adrenaline surged through her veins and she barked orders to her team, their training kicking in. The AquaQuest was now perilously listing to one side and water rushed into the damaged hull. With life vests hastily donned, the researchers plunged into the frigid sea, swimming towards where Lily had last been seen. Dr. Carter's mind raced. She couldn't afford to lose her daughter to the unforgiving ocean. A sense of dread gripped them as they reached where Lily had disappeared. There was no sign of her. Panic threatened to engulf Dr. Carter, but she knew she had to remain composed. She was the leader, the rock upon which her team depended. Amidst the frantic search, a collective gasp escaped the researchers. Apollo had returned, circling them ominously. His colossal form cast a shadow that blotted out the feeble sunlight, an eerie reminder of their vulnerability in these unforgiving waters. Dr. Carter's heart pounded in her chest as she realized the direness of their situation. Apollo was a formidable predator, and they were exposed to the water. But Lily was out somewhere, and they couldn't give up the search. With grim determination, they decided to repurpose their research equipment as makeshift weapons. Spears and data-collecting poles became their defense against Apollo's menacing advances. It was a risky strategy, but it was all they had. Hours passed like a blur, hope dwindling with every passing moment. Just when despair threatened to take hold, one of the researchers spotted a minor figure in the distance. It was Lily, struggling to stay afloat, her small frame battered by the relentless waves. Dr. Carter's heart soared with relief, and her team swam towards her, their collective strength propelling them forward. Lily was barely conscious when they reached her, but they pulled her onto a life raft and wrapped her in blankets, shielding her from the biting cold. As they distanced themselves from Apollo's domain, the great white shark circled them one last time before vanishing into the depths. Dr. Carter couldn't help but feel a mix of awe and fear. Apollo had displayed both his incredible power and an unexpected sense of curiosity. Back on board the AquaQuest, Lily was examined by the ship's medic. Miraculously, she had suffered only minor injuries and was expected to recover fully. Dr. Carter held her daughter close, relief streaming down her face. The incident would forever alter their lives, a stark reminder of the untamed nature of the ocean and the unpredictability of the creatures that inhabited it. Dr. Carter would continue her research with an even more profound reverence for the great white sharks she had devoted her life to understanding. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting hues of orange and crimson across the South African waters, the AquaQuest sailed back to port. It bore the weight of a harrowing encounter and a newfound appreciation for the enigmatic mysteries of the ocean and the unyielding spirit of a mother and daughter who had stared into the jaws of a great white shark and lived to recount the tale. In the murky waters off the coast of Grand Isle, Louisiana, the relentless dance between man and nature took a harrowing turn on a fateful Friday. A routine fishing expedition turned into a life-altering ordeal as a 64-year-old crew member, weathered by the challenges of the sea, plummeted into the abyss below. The unforgiving jaws of fate closed in with startling swiftness as the cold embrace of the ocean gave way to the visceral sting of a shark's bite. The U.S. Coast Guard, stalwart guardians of maritime safety, were thrust into a race against time to save the life of a seasoned seafarer, now left in critical condition. The incident, a chilling reminder of the dangerous coexistence between humanity and the untamed depths, unfurled a tale that goes beyond the immediate struggle for survival. It beckoned the audience to the heart of the maritime battleground, where every ripple in the water conceals the capricious forces that shape destinies and test the indomitable spirit of those who call the sea their own. In the calm embrace of the night, the fishing vessel Moonglow, a stalwart voyager in the vastness of the Gulf of Mexico, became the unwitting stage for a maritime ordeal that would etch its narrative into the annals of the sea. The seasoned crew member dedicatedly served aboard the Moonglow, navigating the unpredictable waters off Grand Isle, Louisiana. The serenity of the moonlit expanse shattered when routine maintenance tasks turned into a dangerous dance with destiny. As the vessel cruised about 35 miles southeast of Grand Isle, the crewman, grappling with the entangled nets around the propeller, found himself trapped in a life-altering confrontation. In a cruel twist of fate, he tumbled overboard, the cold embrace of the ocean awaiting him. A call to the Coast Guard sector New Orleans, punctuating the silence at 12:51 a.m., transmitted the urgency of the situation. A crew member was attacked by a shark, a severe leg injury painting a stark portrait of the struggle unfolding beneath the waves. The Moonglow, once a vessel of routine maritime tasks, now stood witness to a saga that transcended the ordinary, unraveling profound mysteries hidden beneath the surface of the sea. The crew member dedicated to his craft had inadvertently become a protagonist in a story that resonated with the unpredictable nature of the marine world. The unknown size and species of the shark added an air of ominous uncertainty, encapsulating the essence of the untamed deep. As Coast Guard officials responded to the distress call, the waters off Grand Isle transformed into a theater of survival. On this battleground, the indomitable human spirit clashed with the enigmatic denizens of the ocean. The Moonglow, a witness to the collision between man and nature, now carried the weight of a narrative that beckoned the audience into the heart of maritime uncertainty, where every ripple in the water concealed the capricious forces shaping destinies in the dark expanse below. In the crucible of crisis, where the moonlit expanse off Grand Isle held its breath, the crew members aboard the Moonglow emerged as unsung heroes, their swift and decisive actions transcending the chaos that unfolded beneath the stars. Confronted with the visceral aftermath of their crewmate's partially amputated leg following the harrowing shark attack, they became beacons of resilience and resourcefulness. The application of a tourniquet, a makeshift lifeline in the throes of adversity, became their urgent imperative, a desperate bid to staunch the tide of blood and maintain a fragile flicker of hope. The radio waves crackled with the urgency of their distress call, a plea for intervention reverberating across the expansive oceanic expanse. Coast Guard watchstanders, navigating the delicate balance between life and limb, sought counsel from the duty flight surgeon, an oracle in the critical art of medical decision-making. The unanimous recommendation for a medical evacuation became the lifeline for the imperiled crew member, a beacon of hope cutting through the darkness of uncertainty. In response, a Coast Guard air station, New Orleans helicopter descended upon the Moonglow's turbulent stage, its rotor blades slicing through the night air as the crew raced against time. The dramatic rescue unfolded like a carefully choreographed ballet of urgency. The helicopter crew, like guardian angels in the tempest, orchestrated their roles with precision. A Coast Guard rescue swimmer, descending into the tumultuous waters, brought with him a realm of expertise. His skilled hands administered crucial first aid, navigating the delicate dance of saving a life in the shadow of danger. A new tourniquet, a symbol of tenacity and hope, was deftly applied. A lifeline cinched around the beleaguered limb, a testament to the indomitable human spirit. In a synchronized ascent, the crew hoisted the injured man from the clutches of the deep, cradling him in the secure embrace of the helicopter's cabin. The rhythmic hum of the rotor blades marked a heartbeat of hope as the Coast Guard helicopter soared into the night sky, carrying the survivor toward the threshold of medical intervention. The Moonglow, bearing witness to a saga of resilience and camaraderie, sailed on through the darkened waters, the echoes of the extraordinary rescue reverberating in its wake. In the heart of this maritime battleground, where the unpredictable forces of nature clash with human grit, the indelible mark of the Moonglow's crew was etched into the night, a testament to courage and determination in the face of the unknown. Embarking on a marine odyssey through the Gulf of Mexico unveils a diverse tapestry of at least 24 shark species, meticulously cataloged by the University of Florida. In the northern expanse of the Gulf, the elusive nurse sharks carve a niche, their docile presence contrasting with the dynamic ecosystem that thrives beneath the waves. There, it is not uncommon to encounter the distinctive silhouettes of various hammerhead sharks, adding an element of mystique to the sun-dappled waters. As the currents carry on, the salty embrace of these Gulf waters becomes a haven for a pantheon of shark species, including the formidable bull sharks, the majestic tiger sharks, and the swift blacktip sharks, each playing a crucial role in the intricate ballet of marine life. While the Gulf of Mexico occasionally hosts the iconic great white sharks, their sightings are a rarity, attributed to their preference for calmer waters. These marine titans, often vilified in popular culture, contribute to the delicate ecological equilibrium of the Gulf's submerged realm. Against this backdrop of marine diversity, the Global Shark Attack File, meticulously maintained by the Shark Research Institute, offers a glimpse into the seldom glimpsed confrontation between humans and these denizens of the deep. In the ongoing narrative of the Gulf, the file reveals that, aside from the recent Moonglow crew member incident, only 2 other shark attacks have been documented this year. One such episode unfolded on August 28th at Galveston Island, Texas, where an 11-year-old boy became the victim of a small shark's bite, adding a poignant footnote to the enigmatic narrative beneath the azure surface. As the Gulf continues to harbor these awe-inspiring creatures, their presence beckons exploration and understanding, challenging preconceptions, and urging a reconsideration of the intricate relationship between humankind and the marine world. In the unfolding chronicle of shark-human encounters, another incident marked the annals on July 17th, when a 14-year-old boy faced a brush with a shark near Grayton Beach State Park in Florida. The encounter, categorized by the Walton County Sheriff's Office as a superficial bite, left the young swimmer with wounds that fortunately were not deemed life-threatening. As the news rippled through the community, the Sheriff's Office assumed a role of reassurance, emphasizing in a Facebook post that the intent was not to sow fear or induce panic. Instead, the post served as a reminder of the symbiotic relationship between humans and sharks in the waters they call home. The Sheriff's Office conveyed that they were making the public aware by stating that sharks lived in the water, and that was their home, so they were making the public aware so that they may use caution when swimming in the water where sharks lived, underscoring the need for vigilance and coexistence in the fluid realm where 2 worlds converge. In the tapestry of recent shark encounters, the incident stood as poignant reminders of the delicate coexistence between humans and these marine inhabitants. The juxtaposition of superficial bites and the resilience displayed by those involved paints a nuanced picture of the ongoing narrative beneath the azure waters. As authorities seek to inform and caution the public, the incidents prompt reflection on the shared space that humans and sharks inhabit in the vast expanse of the ocean. It is a reminder, urging communities to navigate these waters with both awe and vigilance, recognizing the inherent complexities of the dynamic relationship between humanity and the dangerous creatures of the sea. In 1998, in the coastal town of Oceanville, situated on the eastern shore of the United States, a spirited young woman from Portugal named Sarah Mendes was on holiday. At 24, Sarah had already made her mark as a talented engineer in Lisbon. Seeking respite from her demanding job, she was drawn to the allure of the American coast and the beckoning waves of the Atlantic. Oceanville, with its golden sandy beaches and the vast expanse of the Atlantic, was a far cry from the bustling streets of Lisbon. The waves crashing against the shore whispered promises of adventure and escape to Sarah, igniting a spark within her. Sarah's enthusiasm for the ocean was infectious. Tall and lean, with sun-kissed hair and a spirit hungry for exploration. Accompanying her were her closest friends, Martin, the avid surfer with a perpetual sun-kissed tan and a heart as vast as the ocean. Inez, the fearless free spirit whose laughter could brighten even the gloomiest days. And Miguel, the tech-savvy traveler always armed with his camera, capturing moments that danced in the depths. They were more than friends. They were kindred spirits united by their love for the sea and desire to experience the world. The incident that would forever mark their lives occurred during the summer of 1998. It was a typical July day, the sun blazing in a cloudless sky, and the beach alive with laughter and the promise of adventure. Families and friends flocked to the shoreline seeking refuge from the summer heat in the calm, inviting waters of the Atlantic. Excited for another underwater expedition, Sarah and her crew gathered at the dock. The boat bobbed gently, an eager steed ready to carry them to their aquatic playground. Hearts filled with the anticipation of discovery, they boarded, ready to dive into the depths and explore the secrets hidden below. Unbeknownst to them, fate had woven a different narrative for that day. The seemingly calm and serene sea held within its depths an ancient force, the ocean's apex predator, a creature of awe and fear, the great white shark. In those blissful moments before tragedy unfurled, the stage was set, and the characters, unaware of the peril that awaited them, embarked on their ill-fated voyage into the ocean's domain. The boat anchored, and the friends, their excitement barely contained, geared up for the dive. Sarah adjusted her mask, feeling a surge of adrenaline as she glanced at the vast expanse of the Atlantic before her. Martin gave a thumbs up, signaling they were ready to plunge into the azure depths. As they descended, the underwater world unfolded in all its vibrant glory. The play of light through the water, the darting fish, and the gentle sway of the kelp fascinated them. They marveled at the intricate dance of marine life, their minds momentarily freed from the stresses of daily life. But fate had a different plan. Suddenly a shadow loomed, darkening the ocean floor. A hulking figure emerged from the depths, the great white shark, a formidable predator. Panic coursed through the group as the enormity of the situation dawned upon them. In a heart-stopping moment, the shark lunged, its jagged teeth finding purchase in Sarah's leg. The water turned crimson as her friends shouted in terror, grappling with the reality of the attack. Inez, ever brave, tried to fend off the predator, landing desperate blows to rescue her friend. Miguel swiftly used his camera to create distractions, hoping the shark would be deterred by the flashes. Meanwhile, Martin fought to keep Sarah afloat, staunching the bleeding as best as he could. Sarah, though in agonizing pain, displayed remarkable courage, her determination to survive unwavering. Minutes felt like hours as they grappled with the perilous situation. The shark circled, relentless in its pursuit. In a daring move, Miguel hit the shark on its snout with the camera, startling it momentarily. Seizing this opportunity, they made a break for the surface, their kicks powerful and synchronized. Gasping for air, they breached the surface, their faces a mask of horror and relief. The battle with the ocean's apex predator had left them scarred, physically and emotionally. Sarah, her pain evident but her spirit unbroken, was rushed back to the shore where the gravity of her injuries became brutally clear. The attack had taken its toll on Sarah. Her injuries were grave, and despite the valiant efforts to save her, she succumbed to the trauma. The incident would forever haunt her friends. Their lives changed in an instant by the cruel hand of fate. As the boat raced back to the shore, its engine roaring like a beacon of hope, Martin, Inez, and Miguel struggled to stabilize Sarah, whose life hung in the balance. Blood stained the deck, stark evidence of the brutality of the attack. The wail of sirens pierced the air as the ambulance sped through the streets of Oceanville, racing towards Mercy General Hospital, where Sarah's fate would be decided. The hospital, a place of healing and hope, transformed into a battlefield where skilled medical professionals waged a relentless war to save Sarah's life. The urgency in the air was palpable as they rushed her into the operating room. The gravity of her injuries became painfully clear as they assessed the extent of the damage. Her leg bore deep, jagged wounds, and her arm was a mangled, barely recognizable limb. In the dimly lit operating room, the medical team worked with unwavering focus, their hands moving deftly as they fought to stem the bleeding and stabilize her condition. The surgery was a grueling affair, lasting hours, as they made the heart-wrenching decision to amputate her arm, a painful sacrifice to ensure her survival. Sarah's friends, Martin, Inez, and Miguel, stood vigil outside the operating room, their faces etched with worry and fear. The minutes dragged on, each one feeling like an eternity, until finally, a weary but resolute surgeon emerged to deliver the news. Sarah had made it through the surgery, but the road ahead would be long and fraught with challenges. The news of Sarah losing her arm was a devastating blow to her friends and family. Martin, Inez, and Miguel struggled to come to terms with the cruel reality of the situation, grappling with feelings of guilt and helplessness. Sarah's family, who had flown across the ocean from Portugal, stood by her side, their hearts heavy with dread. The sight of their daughter and sister, now forever changed, brought tears to their eyes. Yet amidst the grief they clung to hope, praying for Sarah's strength to carry her through the arduous journey of recovery. In the days that followed, Sarah embarked on a grueling path of rehabilitation. The physical pain was excruciating, but her determination was unwavering. Her hospital room became a hub of activity, filled with therapists and specialists working tirelessly to help her regain her strength and independence. But it wasn't just physical wounds that Sarah had to contend with. The emotional scars ran deep. Her friends, who had witnessed the horror of that fateful dive, grappled with survivor's guilt, questioning what they could have done differently. After months, Sarah Mendez emerged from the shadows, a symbol of unwavering determination and the power of the human spirit. The loss of her arm was a painful chapter, but it was not the end of her story. She chose to redefine her life, inspiring countless others with her courage, and proving that even in the face of the most harrowing trials, the human spirit could rise, undefeated. In the tranquil summer of 2001, the coastal town of Emerald Bay, known for its pristine waters and abundant marine life, became the backdrop for a harrowing tale of survival. The narrative centers on the luxurious yacht Sea Odyssey, owned by the wealthy and enigmatic Richard Stanton. Richard had organized an exclusive yacht party to celebrate his latest business venture, inviting a select group of influential guests. Among the invitees was Emily Harris, a respected marine biologist renowned for her groundbreaking research on shark behavior. Emily's invitation was a deliberate choice by Richard, who was eager to discuss potential collaborations with her. The yacht drifted through the calm waters as evening descended, adorned with elegant decor and lively guests. The setting sun casts a golden glow, creating a picturesque scene. The air was alive with music, laughter, and the clinking of glasses. Emily felt out of place amidst the lavishness. Her thoughts were with the mysterious depths below them. Unbeknownst to the revelers, a quiet disaster was about to unfold. Michael Thompson, a young and enthusiastic entrepreneur, was leaning over the railing, captivated by the sea's allure. In a twist of fate, he lost his balance and fell overboard, plunging into the dark waters below. The yacht, filled with the sounds of festivity, took a moment to register the gravity of the situation. Panic ensued as the guests realized what had happened. Emily's heart raced with dread. She knew the dangers that lurked beneath the waves of Emerald Bay, especially after sunset. Understanding the severity of the incident, Richard immediately ordered the yacht to halt and initiated a rescue operation. However, amidst the chaos, their distress signal to the Coast Guard was lost, leaving them isolated in the vast ocean. With her expertise in marine life, Emily stepped forward to lead the rescue. Time was critical. Sharks are drawn to the thrashing and noise of a struggling swimmer. She coordinated with the crew to deploy a smaller boat for the rescue, readying herself to dive in and assist. A sense of dread enveloped them as they neared Michael's last known location. The faint silhouette of a shark circling nearby became visible, attracted by the commotion. Emily's heart sank further. The predator was dangerously close. In the rescue boat, armed with only a flashlight and extensive knowledge, Emily leaned over the edge, scanning the waters for Michael and the approaching shark. Every second was precious, and the looming threat of the shark attack intensified the urgency of their mission. With Emily at the helm, the rescue boat closed in on the spot where Michael had last been seen. The water, black under the night sky, offered little visibility. Emily's flashlight swept over the waves, searching. Then, one of the crew members shouted that they had spotted Michael struggling weakly a few meters away. As they drew nearer, the ominous shadow of the shark became more apparent, circling closer with each passing moment. Emily knew they had mere moments before it would strike. Her mind raced with the knowledge she had accumulated over years of studying these apex predators. She had to act fast. Emily dove into the water in a split-second decision, creating a distraction. She planned to draw the shark's attention away from Michael. It was a dangerous move, but it was their only chance. The shark, curious about this new arrival, veered towards Emily. Her heart pounded as she swam vigorously, leading the predator away from Michael. Meanwhile, the crew reached Michael, pulling his exhausted form into the boat. His leg bore deep gashes from the shark's initial attack, blood coloring the water around him. The crew's immediate concern was to stop the bleeding and stabilize him. They applied pressure to the wounds with makeshift bandages, trying to control the blood loss while radioing the yacht for medical assistance. Richard and the other guests had prepared the first aid kit on the yacht and readied themselves for Michael's return. The atmosphere was tense, a stark contrast to the earlier mirth. Richard and a few guests helped hoist Michael on board as the rescue boat approached. The yacht's crew, some with basic medical training, quickly administered first aid. They cleaned the wounds with antiseptic, applied more secure bandages, and administered pain relief. Meanwhile, Richard contacted the Coast Guard and dispatched a rescue helicopter. Michael, though in pain and shock, was conscious. He thanked his rescuers, particularly Emily, who had risked her life to save his. Emily, now back on the yacht, was visibly shaken but composed. Her quick thinking and bravery had averted a greater tragedy. As the helicopter arrived, the winch lowered to airlift Michael to the nearest hospital. The guests on the yacht watched in solemn silence as he was carried away, the seriousness of the situation weighing heavily on their minds. Michael's recovery became a story of resilience and courage in the following weeks. His injuries, though severe, were not life-threatening, and he made a steady recovery. The experience had left its mark, not just physically but also mentally. He often spoke of the incident, reflecting on the fragility of life and the unexpected heroes like Emily, who emerge in times of crisis. Emily, meanwhile, gained renewed respect among her peers and the public. Her actions that night were a testament to her expertise and bravery. The incident also highlighted the need for better safety measures in recreational water activities and a deeper understanding of the marine environment. The story of that fateful night on the Sea Odyssey became a reminder of the unpredictability of nature and the extraordinary courage of ordinary people. It was a tale that would be recounted for years in Emerald Bay, a testament to survival and the human spirit. Bathed in the beautiful glow of the sun setting off the shores of Atoll Island in the Bahamas, a narrative of intrigue and suspense unfolded, weaving the tale of Cameron Robbins, an 18-year-old Louisiana baseball star whose high school graduation celebration took a harrowing turn aboard the Blackbeard's Revenge Sunset cruise ship. The air pulsated with jubilation and youthful exuberance as Robbins, fueled by a dare, made a daring leap into the cool embrace of the ocean. The splash echoed against the ship's hull, marking the commencement of a story that would soon transcend the realms of festivity and adventure. Yet the scene took a chilling turn as the photographic evidence captured a shadowy figure beneath the surface, juxtaposed against the silhouette of the brave jumper. The whispers of speculation reverberated through the community, suggesting a twist in the narrative. Was Robbins, in his fearless leap, actually eluding a potential threat from the depths? The rumor of a lurking shark camouflaged within the sapphire waters added an eerie layer to the already mysterious incident. As the days passed, the search for the missing teen intensified, blending into a tapestry of suspense and unanswered questions. The decision to call off the search after 2 days cast a somber shadow over the community, leaving them grappling with an unresolved story. The waters surrounding Atoll Island, now holding the untold secrets of Cameron Robbins, became a canvas upon which speculation painted an enigmatic portrait. The emotions of the celebratory occasion were overshadowed by the uncertainty that clung to Robbins' disappearance. Was he a victim of a spontaneous dare gone awry, or did he knowingly plunge into the depths, navigating the maritime unknown to escape an unforeseen peril? The narrative unfolded like an intricately woven mystery, captivating the minds of those touched by the tale. Once a picturesque backdrop for joyous celebrations, Atoll Island now bore witness to a story that transcended the realms of tragedy and adventure. The incident on Cameron Robbins lingered, suspended in the community's collective consciousness, waiting for the currents of truth to reveal the submerged chapters of a story that refused to find its conclusion in the quiet waters off the Bahamas. The unanswered questions lingered like shadows, casting a haunting spell over the events that unfolded in that fateful twilight, leaving an indelible mark on the shores of Atoll Island. As the saga aboard the Blackbeard's Revenge unfolded in the waning light of the Bahamian sunset, the storyline became a gripping tableau of unforeseen danger. The pivotal moment, immortalized in chilling footage, captured Cameron Robbins, the 18-year-old Louisiana baseball star, taking a plunge into the vast depths, marking the culmination of his high school graduation celebration. The video, an accidental chronicle of tragedy, showcased Robbins swimming amidst the inky waters, his joyous rite of passage overshadowed by an unfolding crisis. The urgency of the situation manifested with the thrown life preserver, a buoyant beacon of hope tossed into the abyss, tantalizingly close to the desperate teenager. Yet Robbins, seemingly entranced by an unseen force below, defied the instinct for self-preservation and embarked on a determined swim away from the offered lifeline. The urgent calls of his classmates imploring him to grab the life preserver were overshadowed by his eerie fixation on a shadowy shape emerging from the depths, casting a somber mood over the entire scene. As the footage spread online, it transformed into a virtual amphitheater of speculation, with viewers worldwide dissecting every frame in search of elusive answers. The prevailing theory, fueled by the collective imaginations of online sleuths, suggested that Robbins had encountered a shark during his ill-fated leap. Claims of unmistakable shark sightings within the video fueled the wildfire of conjecture, prompting a digital sleuthing frenzy that sought to uncover the truth behind the ominous shadow lurking in the waters. Providing a problematic update the previous day, Royal Bahamas Defense Force, RBDF, Commodore Raymond King, confirmed the sinister reality of the locale where Robbins went overboard, describing it as really shark-infested. The convergence of video evidence, eyewitness accounts, and official acknowledgement painted a disquieting tableau that left the audience teetering on the precipice of an unsettling revelation. Once a backdrop for celebration, the waters off Atoll Island now held the echoes of a wondrous plunge, each ripple resonating with the weight of unanswered questions and the looming specter of danger. As the haunting video circulated on social media platforms, the virtual landscape became a breeding ground for conjecture and chilling accounts. A singular voice cut through the digital noise, asserting with conviction that the video didn't lie. He was attacked by a shark and taken under. The ominous narrative gained momentum as others joined the discourse, their observations forming an eerie chorus of corroborative details. "You can see the shark to the left of the video," remarked one observer, while another, adamant in their assertion, claimed to have discerned the telltale fin in the fleeting frames of the short video. The online realm transformed into a virtual investigation room, dissecting the footage frame by frame, attempting to unravel the cryptic enigma shrouding Cameron Robbins' plunge into the abyss. The backdrop of this harrowing incident unfolded against the backdrop of the Bahamas, a region renowned for its picturesque landscapes, but harboring a darker reality beneath the pristine waters. The Bahamas, home to highly aggressive sharks, including the notorious tiger and bull sharks, set the stage for an incident that blurred the lines between daredevilry and the perils of its untamed marine ecosystem. Witnesses, their voices rising above the digital din, claimed that Robbins, in a moment of youthful bravado, succumbed to a dare, leaping overboard at the ominous hour of 11:30 p.m. from the Blackbeard's Revenge Sunset cruise ship. The incident now transcended the boundaries of a mere dare. It became an exploration of the fragile dance between human audacity and the predatory instincts that lurked beneath the surface of the seemingly tranquil Bahamian waters. In the days leading up to the mysterious plunge off the Blackbeard's Revenge, Cameron Robbins, a recent graduate of University High in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, reveled in the jubilation of academic accomplishment. His radiant smile adorned an Instagram photo, capturing the essence of a triumphant moment, dressed in the symbolic regalia of his graduation robe. The celebratory atmosphere extended beyond the confines of University High, as Robbins joined scores of other seniors from various Baton Rouge high schools, including Episcopal, Catholic, and St. Joseph's Academy, in an island soiree that would take a dangerous turn. Having only recently touched down on Bahamian soil, the students found themselves thrust into an adventure, a pirate-themed sunset boat excursion off Atoll Island. As Robbins took the daring leap into the unknown, the festive ambiance of the pirate-themed cruise transformed into a sad search and rescue mission. The boat, once filled with laughter and camaraderie, now became a vessel fraught with anxiety and uncertainty. The crew members, accompanied by multiple agencies, including the vigilant presence of the U.S. Coast Guard, embarked on a desperate quest to locate the vanished athlete. The transition from revelry to rescue cast a haunting pall over the sun-soaked waters, leaving the fate of Cameron Robbins suspended in a narrative that unfolded with every passing moment, teetering between celebration and the shadows of the unknown. In the aftermath of the halted search, Commodore Raymond King provided a sobering update, highlighting the stark challenges facing Cameron Robbins' disappearance. Acknowledging the slim chances of survival, particularly without a life vest, and potentially impaired by intoxication, King added a disheartening layer by revealing the shark-infested nature of the area where Robbins took his fateful plunge. Despite the grim circumstances, King urged Robbins' family to maintain hope in the face of uncertainty. The joint efforts of the U.S. Coast Guard District 7 and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force covered a sprawling 325-square-mile search area, with the Coast Guard expressing condolences as the search concluded. The Robbins family, amidst profound grief, expressed gratitude for the extensive support from the Bahamas government, the U.S. Coast Guard, the United Cajun Navy, and Congressman Garrett Graves. Following the Bahamas government's official conclusion of the rescue mission, the Robbins family prepared to return to Baton Rouge, acknowledging the heartfelt support from various entities. University Lab School director Kevin George reflected on Robbins's 13-year educational journey, emphasizing the need for unity in the grieving school community. Robbins's social media portrayed his love for baseball and his close-knit relationships. His baseball coach, Justin Morgan, provided a touching tribute, depicting Robbins as a cherished figure on and off the field. The U-High community, grappling with the profound impact of the tragedy, clung to hope while collectively navigating the uncharted waters of grief. Thoughts and prayers were extended to the Robbins family during this unimaginably difficult time. The waters off Atoll Island, once a site of celebration, now bore witness to an unfolding tragedy that left the Robbins family and the U-High community grappling with profound grief. The haunting uncertainty surrounding Robbins' plunge into the shark-infested depths served as a poignant reminder of the delicate balance between youthful exuberance and the unpredictable forces of nature. And echoes of this poignant chapter linger, urging reflection on the fragility of life and the resilience required to navigate uncharted waters. In the heart of summer 2018, New Smyrna Beach in Florida, a hotspot for surfers and sunseekers, set the stage for an unforgettable adventure for a group of high school friends. Known for its warm waters and vibrant beach culture, New Smyrna was also notorious for its shark sightings, which often thrilled the more daring visitors. The story revolves around 5 teenagers: Alex Johnson, a confident and natural leader; Sarah Miller, the group's free spirit; Ethan Wright, the cautious and thoughtful one; Mia Thompson, adventurous and fearless; and Kyle Anderson, the prankster of the group. They had planned a weekend of beach camping to celebrate their high school graduation, eager to make memories before heading off to college. Their campsite was a small clearing near the beach, hidden from the usual tourist spots. It was the perfect place for them to relax, share stories, and enjoy the starry nights. As the sun set on their first day, the beach transformed into a beautiful canvas of oranges and purples, and the friends gathered around the campfire. The night was warm, the sound of waves soothing, but relaxation soon turned to excitement for these friends. Kyle, ever the instigator, dared the group to go for a midnight swim, despite Ethan's protests, reminding them of the beach's reputation for sharks. The excitement of the dare was too tempting. After some hesitation, they all agreed, laughing off Ethan's concerns. They ventured into the water, the moon casting a silvery glow. The thrill of the night swim was exhilarating. They splashed and shouted, their laughter echoing along the shoreline. But their joy was short-lived. Suddenly, Mia felt something brush against her leg. At first, she dismissed it as seaweed, but a second, more forceful nudge sent a wave of panic through her. She screamed, alerting the others. Within moments, the group was in a frenzy, scrambling towards the shore. From the beach, Ethan, who had stayed back, saw the commotion and ran towards the water, his heart pounding. As he reached the water's edge, he could make out a dark shape moving swiftly through the water, a shark drawn by the noise and splashing. Alex and Sarah reached safety first, closest to the shore, followed by Kyle, who was panting heavily. Mia, however, was farther out, struggling to keep up. A mere shadow in the moonlit water, the shark circled closer to her. Mia's strokes became frantic as she tried to escape the looming shadow beneath her. The others, now safely on the beach, shouted for her to hurry. Without a second thought, Ethan grabbed a nearby lifebuoy and plunged into the water, driven by fear and determination. The shark, a sleek and powerful predator, was closing in on Mia. Her energy was waning, her kicks slower as panic set in. As the shark neared, Ethan reached her, thrusting the lifebuoy towards her. She grabbed it with a desperate strength she didn't know she had. Ethan's presence in the water diverted the shark's attention. It circled them, its dark fin cutting through the water like a blade. Mia and Ethan, clinging to the lifebuoy, slowly moved back towards the shore, trying not to splash too much to avoid attracting the shark further. Alex, Sarah, and Kyle watched helplessly on the beach, their hearts in their throats. The shark made a sudden, swift move toward Ethan and Mia, its jaws open. In that heart-stopping moment, Ethan pushed Mia away, making himself the closer target. But just as quickly, the shark veered away, disappearing into the depths. The reason for its retreat was soon apparent. The disturbance had attracted the attention of a nearby patrol. A Coast Guard boat, lights flashing, was speeding towards them. Sensing the larger presence, the shark had decided to abandon its pursuit. Exhausted and shaken, Mia and Ethan finally returned to the beach. Their friends rushed to them. Relief and fear mingled in their tearful embraces. The Coast Guard arrived, provided first aid, and checked them for injuries. Miraculously, aside from some cuts and bruises, they were unharmed. The teenagers sat wrapped in blankets, sipping warm drinks provided by the Coast Guard. The officer in charge gave them a stern but relieved lecture on night swimming and the dangers of sharks, especially in a known hotspot like New Smyrna Beach. The incident became a pivotal moment for the group. The rest of the weekend was spent much more quietly, with reflections on the close call they had experienced. The reality of their mortality and the unpredictability of nature had sunk in. Their conversations drifted to plans, dreams, and the promise to always look out for one another, no matter where life took them. Years later, they would often recount the story of their graduation beach camping trip. It started as an adventurous getaway but became a life lesson they would never forget. They spoke of Ethan's bravery, the terror of the shark's shadow in the moonlight, and their newfound respect for the ocean's power. The story of their night at New Smyrna Beach reminded them of the fine line between adventure and recklessness, and the unbreakable bond that their shared experience had forged among them. In the remote coastal town of Blue Water Cove, located on the southern tip of Australia, an aura of untamed beauty embraced the jagged cliffs and expansive azure ocean. The city sat at the meeting point of both rugged wilderness and the deep, mysterious sea. Its pristine beaches and crystalline waters made it a haven for divers seeking to explore the wonders beneath the surface. Amidst the vibrant diving community, two divers stood out for their unparalleled skill and shared passion for the ocean's depths. First, there was Alex Matthews, a seasoned marine biologist whose curiosity for the sea was fueled by an insatiable desire to uncover its secrets. Alex had a deep respect for marine life and an adventurous spirit that led them to explore various corners of the globe. Then Emma Harris was an adventurous underwater photographer with a keen eye for capturing the ocean's beauty. Emma's fascination with the underwater world began in her childhood, inspired by stories of her grandfather, a legendary marine explorer. The legacy he left behind fueled her determination to showcase the ocean's splendor through her lens. With its rich marine biodiversity, Australia was the perfect playground for Alex and Emma's diving endeavors. Blue Water Cove was their favorite spot, where the convergence of warm and cold currents created a mesmerizing underwater ecosystem. The coral reefs, teeming with colorful marine life, provided a breathtaking spectacle that never failed to amaze them. One sunny morning in July 2005, with a gentle breeze kissing the ocean's surface, Alex and Emma geared up for a dive that would etch itself into the annals of their diving adventures. The town was excited as news spread about a rare gathering of marine creatures near a distant reef known as the Turquoise Abyss. This unique phenomenon drew divers far and wide, eager to witness nature's grandeur. As they made their way to the dive site, anticipation danced in their hearts. The turquoise waters stretched infinitely before them, hinting at the enchantment beneath them. The day held the promise of both adventure and discovery. With unruly curls and a perpetual sparkle of excitement in their eyes, Alex prepared to delve into the depths, equipped with various research tools. Radiant with a love for the ocean, Emma adjusted her camera settings, ready to capture the ocean's wonders in every frame. The boat anchored at the dive site, and with a synchronized splash, they entered the water. The ocean welcomed them into its embrace, a familiar and comforting sensation of weightlessness. The reef's vibrant colors dazzled beneath the surface, and a rich tapestry of marine life unfolded before their eyes. As Alex and Emma descended into the turquoise abyss, they felt a sense of unity with the ocean, and oneness that bound them to its mysteries. Little did they know that on this day the sea would present a trial to test their courage and bond with each other. As Alex and Emma descended deeper into the turquoise abyss, the underwater world revealed itself in all its breathtaking splendor. Colorful coral formations danced with the rhythm of the ocean currents, while schools of fish moved in unison like a living, shimmering tapestry. Their dive progressed smoothly, each immersed in their passion. Alex documenting marine life behavior, and Emma capturing the ocean's beauty through her lens. Time seemed to lose its meaning as they moved gracefully through the water. Suddenly, a low hum filled the water, sending ripples of unease through the usually calm ocean. The fish scattered, vanishing into crevices and shadows. Alex and Emma exchanged a puzzled look, sensing a shift in the underwater ambience. Then, emerging from the depths, a shadowy figure materialized. A great white shark is a force of nature, sculpted by evolution for survival. Its cold, unyielding eyes fixated on them, a primal hunger burning within. Fear surged through their veins, but so did adrenaline-fueled determination. Instinctively, they moved closer together, their training and camaraderie serving as their shield against the looming danger. Emma, the camera still in hand, captured the predator's image with steady hands, fighting to control her breathing. The adrenaline surged, heightening her senses and sharpening her focus. Alex, the scientist in them, always maintained composure and a watchful eye on the shark, analyzing its behavior and seeking an opportunity to deter its advance. The encounter intensified as the shark circled, its powerful form gliding through the water with menacing grace. Emma snapped more shots, each click echoing through the tense undersea silence. With a sudden burst of speed, the shark closed in. In a split second, it lunged, aiming for Emma. Her heart raced as she maneuvered quickly, but the shark's sharp teeth found their mark, biting into her lower leg. Pain surged through her, but she fought against the panic, knowing that survival depended on their collective resilience. Alex acted swiftly, using the metal rod to strike the shark, forcing it to release its grip on Emma. The shark retreated momentarily, allowing them a critical moment to react. Blood mingled with the water, painting the scene with a terrifying urgency. Despite the pain, Emma remained resolute, her determination fueled by the adrenaline surging through her veins. Alex and Emma pushed their limits, and their movements synchronized as if choreographed by fate. The shark, formidable and relentless, showcased the primal essence of the ocean. The encounter seemed eternal, a timeless battle between humans and the untamed depths. But eventually, the shark's instincts led it elsewhere, with a new scent in the water diverting its attention. With bated breath and hearts pounding, Alex and Emma slowly ascended, leaving the shark in its wild domain. Emerging from the depths, their adrenaline still surging, Alex and Emma faced a changed reality. The encounter with the great white shark left an indelible physical and emotional mark. The danger had been confirmed, and the threat was negligible. The boat bobbed gently on the surface as they hoisted themselves aboard. Emma's lower body was injured, and her spirit was slightly shaken but far from broken. The pain was persistent and unforgiving, but so was her resilience. Alex, too, grappled with the aftermath of the encounter, with fear and adrenaline still coursing through their veins. The boat sped towards the shore. Medical help awaited them on land, a beacon of hope in adversity. In the hospital, as Emma underwent surgery and Alex received treatment for their injuries, they found solace in each other's presence. Days turned into weeks, and both underwent intensive rehabilitation. Emma's resilience amazed the medical staff. Her determination to overcome the physical and emotional trauma was awe-inspiring. Alex, too, pushed through the pain, their marine biologist instincts urging them to delve into the depths of their strength. Their families stood by them, offering unwavering support. Days of struggle turned into days of triumph as they made progress, step by painful step. The incident had irrevocably changed them, but also unveiled their true strength. As they left the hospital, scarred but stronger, they held hands, ready to face a new chapter. The ocean would always be a part of them, an unbreakable bond, and they were determined to share its complexities and wonders with the world. Their story spread far and wide, becoming an inspiration for many. Alex and Emma became advocates for marine conservation, their journey a beacon of hope for the ocean and the human spirit. In the haunting shadows cast by recent events, the serene waters off South Australia had become the unsettling backdrop to a series of tragic encounters between humans and the ocean's apex predators. The disquieting narrative deepened with the news of a third fatal shark attack in the region, claiming the life of 15-year-old surfer Kai Cowley. The remote Ethel Beach on the York Peninsula, where the incident unfolded, was a chilling reminder that even the most idyllic coastal landscapes can harbor unseen dangers. Kai, surfing alongside his father, fell victim to a suspected great white shark on that ominous Thursday, etching his name into the sad record of lives lost to the enigmatic depths. As authorities grappled with the aftermath of this heart-wrenching episode, the waters off South Australia held the echoes of a tale that transcended the idyllic facade of seaside bliss, delving into the complex relationship between humanity and the formidable inhabitants of the Southern Ocean. The somber echoes of tragedy lingered on the shores of South Australia as emergency services, grappling with the harsh reality, were unable to revive the 15-year-old Kai Cowley after the suspected great white shark attack. This heart-wrenching incident now stood as the third fatal shark encounter off the state's coast in recent months, casting a shadow over the idyllic beaches that had become the backdrop to these harrowing narratives. The chilling chronicle extended beyond Kai's tragic demise, weaving into the fabric of a larger, troubling pattern. Surfers met a similarly grim fate in remote parts of South Australia in May and October. Their bodies were lost to the unrelenting depths. South Australia's Premier, Peter Malinauskas, confronted the stark reality that since 2000, 11 fatal shark attacks have unfolded in the state's waters. The revelation that 3 of these fatalities occurred in the span of a few months sparked profound concern. In the face of this rising toll, the Premier acknowledged the limited capacity of the government to enhance beach safety, particularly in the remote expanses outside Adelaide, the state capital. The story unfolded as a tapestry of loss, raising questions about the delicate balance between human recreation and the unpredictable forces that govern the Southern Ocean's enigmatic depths. In the calm echoes of Ethel Beach's remote beauty, the unfolding tragedy took a visceral turn, as a surfer became an unwitting participant in a battle for life against the shadows of the Southern Ocean. A first-hand account shared with local media brought forth the heart-wrenching scene: a father perched on the rocks, his anguished cries blending with the crashing waves as his son desperately swam toward him. Standing in waist-deep water, the witness faced a critical juncture, a moment of life-altering decision. Opting for a rapid retreat into chest-deep waters, the surfer found himself trapped in the relentless grip of the ocean's apex predator. Undeterred by the surfer's frantic sprint, the great white shark dragged him back towards the shore, where a horrified crowd witnessed the unfolding tragedy. Paramedics who had been summoned to the grim tableau engaged in a race against time, their efforts to treat the surfer's injuries painting a futile struggle against the relentless forces at play. This heart-rending episode, embedded in the sands of Ethel Beach on the York Peninsula in southern Australia, was a stark reminder of the unpredictable dance between humanity and the formidable denizens of the deep. As the popular yet secluded tourist spot grappled with the aftermath of this devastating encounter, the incident became a poignant chapter in the complex narrative that binds human recreation with the untamed forces of the Southern Ocean. In the aftermath of the tragic encounter at Ethel Beach, the poignant narrative of Kai Cowley gains depth, revealing a vibrant young life that held promise in the realm of surfing. Just 2 weeks before his untimely demise, Kai showcased his talent, securing the impressive 146th rank among under-18 surfers in the country. His accomplishments resonated within the tight-knit community, earning him the title of the most outstanding Grom performer by his local Seaview Roadboard Riders Surf Club. These accolades, now woven into the fabric of his legacy, illuminated Kai's profound impact on the surfing world at such a tender age. The tragedy of his passing cast a shadow not only on the remote shores of Ethel Beach, but it also reverberated through the broader surfing community, leaving admirers and fellow surfers grappling with the loss of a rising star, whose potential was extinguished by the unrelenting forces of the sea. In the wake of the tragic events at Ethel Beach, the broader surfing community rallied to pay homage to the vibrant young talent lost to the unforgiving waves. In an Instagram post laden with sorrow, Surfing South Australia expressed their condolences and shared the collective grief of the surfing fraternity. After the devastating news that one of their Grom surfers, Kai, was involved in a fatal incident at Ethel Beach on December 28th, they had been keeping Kai's family and friends in their thoughts. That was the post that read, encapsulating the somber acknowledgement of life extinguished too soon. In eulogizing Kai, Surfing South Australia shed light on the boy's profound impact on the surfing community. He was not merely a participant. His passion for riding the waves ran deep, rooted in a family with a storied history in South Australia's surfing culture. The post resonated not only as a tribute but as a testament to the enduring spirit of a young surfer, whose connection to the ocean was interwoven with familial legacies and a profound love for the sport. As the story of Kai Cowley unfolded against the backdrop of Australia's coastal waters, a sobering reality came to light. In this vast expanse, home to over 160 species of sharks, South Australia stood out for hosting 5 species deemed dangerous by local authorities: the white shark, the common thresher shark, the short-fin mako shark, the bronze whaler shark, and the dusky shark. These formidable inhabitants of the Southern Ocean contributed to the intricate tapestry of marine life and underscored the inherent risks accompanying human interaction with the sea. The delicate balance between admiration for these creatures and the potential threat they pose becomes increasingly apparent. A glimpse into the broader global context, provided by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, revealed that despite the vast diversity of shark species, only a mere dozen had been implicated in attacks on humans. This revelation prompts reflection on the nuanced relationship between humanity and the myriad inhabitants of the world's oceans, urging a reconsideration of the intricate dance between fascination and the ever-present specter of danger lurking beneath the waves. In contemplating the harrowing events at Ethel Beach, it becomes apparent that our relationship with the ocean is a delicate dance, one that extends beyond the confines of any specific narrative. The tragedy of lives lost to the enigmatic depths calls for a broader conversation about how we coexist with the formidable inhabitants of the seas. As we navigate the waves of fascination and danger, it is imperative to seek a harmonious balance that respects both the majesty and potential risks of the ocean. The call for awareness, education, and a nuanced understanding echoes beyond the confines of this specific story, urging us to reflect on our role in the vast and mysterious world that lies beneath the surface. In the wake of the tragic events at Ethel Beach, the profound complexities of our relationship with the ocean demand a deeper exploration. Beyond the confines of Kai Cowley's specific narrative, the haunting shadows cast by fatal shark encounters prompt us to reconsider our coexistence with the formidable inhabitants of the seas. The unsettling backdrop of recent events serves as a poignant reminder that the allure of coastal landscapes is accompanied by an inherent unpredictability. The idyllic facade of serene waters hides unseen dangers, and tragic incidents such as Kai's underscore the need for a broader conversation about how we navigate this intricate dance between human recreation and the untamed forces of the Southern Ocean. Extending the gaze beyond the specific tale of Ethel Beach, it is evident that the delicate balance between fascination and danger is a universal challenge. The story is not merely about one surfer's tragic encounter, but serves as a microcosm for the broader dynamics at play in our interaction with the ocean. It beckons us to delve into a nuanced exploration of our impact on marine ecosystems, the risks we undertake, and the responsibility we bear for the preservation of both human life and the diverse creatures inhabiting the depths. The broader context of South Australia's coastal waters, which host a variety of shark species deemed dangerous, compels us to confront the intricate tapestry of marine life. This in turn raises questions about the sustainability of the recreational activities, the measures in place to ensure safety, and the delicate equilibrium that must be maintained to safeguard both human enthusiasts and the ocean's inhabitants. In navigating the waves of fascination and danger, a call to action emerges. It extends beyond specific incidents, urging us to foster awareness, implement effective educational initiatives, and develop strategies for coexistence. Whether through enhanced beach safety measures or responsible tourism practices, the imperative is to create an environment where the majesty of the ocean can be appreciated without compromising safety or jeopardizing the delicate balance of marine ecosystems. The tragedy at Ethel Beach is a catalyst for a broader dialogue, challenging us to reassess our relationship with the seas on a global scale. It calls for a commitment to understanding, respect, and preservation, a commitment that transcends individual narratives and resonates as a collective responsibility to ensure the coexistence of humanity and the magnificent yet unpredictable depths of the ocean.